I'm Steven Webb, the Chief Executive Officer of the Global Institute of Food Security at the University of Saskatchewan.
In layman's terms, what is bioengineering, biomanufacturing, and how can engineering biology in general be seen as a technology platform?
So in layman's terms, bioengineering, biomanufacturing, engineering biology, all it really does is use natural processes, natural biological processes to make useful products, tools, and technologies. It's applying what nature does really well and making it even better. And as a platform technology, when it's referred to as a platform technology, it's just not the biology. Engineering biology, biomanufacturing actually integrates automation, miniaturization, A, with biology, B, with computational machine learning and computational technologies, machine learning and artificial intelligence. So think about the platform as ABC, to be able to really make and accelerate the rate at which we can develop new products and support products in the marketplace. And what's interesting about the engineering biology platform is it's agnostic to the industry segment that it would be applied at. So for example, at Global Institute for Food Security, our engineering biology platform is focused on agriculture and food. But because it relies on the same automation, same biology, and same computational tools, we could redeploy against targets of health interest, against targets related to biomaterials, or any other industry segment.
You've partially already answered this, but I'd like you to go a little deeper on how bioengineering and biomanufacturing intersect with agri-food innovation and how their application can expand Canada's status as an agricultural innovator.
Okay, so first of all, biomanufacturing and bioengineering have been our cornerstones to our entire ag and food system since probably since mankind first, started to farm. So things like fermentation for making cheeses, yogurts, breads, beers are part of that bioengineering, biomanufacturing process. When you think about agriculture as it relates to products in the field, the use of biologics, inoculants to help plants better convert atmospheric nitrogen into usable nitrogen is examples of technologies that we've used for a long time. Now, the application of an engineering biology platform to ag and food and that ability to link automation with biology with computational accelerates our learning cycle. So the design, build, test, learn cycle, which allows us to go faster and integrate knowledge that we've accumulated over the last 30, 40 years into new applications for the ag and food sector. Examples of products that are on the market today that engineering biology has helped make better and more available to people would be things like natural products like spinosad, spinetoram, that are derived from microbial systems. They help with strain improvement. Examples that we've heard from other major players in the industry relate to enzymes for helping convert milk into yogurt, into cheeses more efficiently and more uniformly, where this application. And then, of course, probably one of the most relevant for us here in Western Canada is we produce a lot of peas for plant-based proteins, meat alternatives. And one of the key ingredients that makes those pea proteins taste like meat are myoglobin and hemoglobin, which are produced using engineering biology techniques so that we have plant-based meats that taste like food. And again, one of the applications that we're particularly interested in here at GIFS is the big challenges that we see facing agriculture are carbon sequestration and climate change. We see how do we build more resiliency into the agriculture and agri-food system as part of the food security. So how do we make plants more adaptable and resilient in face of biotic and abiotic stresses? And of course, the other area that we're very much interested in is around the nutritional qualities and like the food applications as well. So again, we're very keen on how do we make healthier food, more of it, and with a lower environmental footprint. How do we adapt and overcome climate change? And then how do we deal with the opportunities that agriculture represents for Canada related to climate change? Again, agriculture is a huge asset for Canada to help meet its climate change targets by looking at carbon sequestration in the farmland here in Western Canada as a major natural sink for that greenhouse gas.
So, what would you say are Canada's biggest opportunities in using biomanufacturing and bioengineering in agri-food production?
The big opportunities in agriculture relate to how do we ensure that we have a safe and reliable and robust supply of food, not just for here in Canada, but also to help feed the world. And how can we take advantage of our unfair advantage that we have here in Canada to do it in a more environmentally friendly way than, say, other parts of the world who have more challenges related to water, soil health than we do here in Canada. So again, take advantage of our unfair advantage. And again, I see the opportunities in agriculture and food based back to the three pillars that I mentioned before: carbon sequestration and climate change. Number two is improved nutritional quality of the materials in terms of not just bulk grain that we export, but also the value add. And then number three is the resiliency and decision-making tools that engineering biology can help develop. For example, one of the applications that we see for engineering biology is the construction of biosensors to help us better measure in real time in the field carbon sequestration and other nutrient use efficiency issues that the farming system has that we really can't measure in real time. So again, I see biological engineering being able to build tools and sensors to help us throughout the entire value chain of the ag and food system. So not only to monitor what's happening on the field, but also post-harvest to ensure that we don't lose the product that we've produced on the farm between the farm gate and the consumer's plate, which again, we know that's a real challenge. And COVID-19 has shown how disruption of the supply chain has led to the paradox of just, unpicked, fruit and spoilage of product at the farm and an absence on the grocery shelf. So again, we see tools, sensors, technology, the further digitization and the application of biological sensors. We see accelerating plant breeding to build more resiliency into plants. Plus, we see the real opportunity that engineering biology, in this generation has already shown is both on the food ingredients side, like I mentioned before, but also on the production of natural products and using naturally derived products as better, safer, more efficacious pesticides. Because again, we are going to need to control diseases, weeds, and insects, but we need to do it smarter. And we need new tools, new technologies that are more efficacious, more environmentally friendly, and safer for both the environment and for the users.
So it's clear from everything you've said so far that bioengineering / manufacturing are potentially transformative. Maybe you would agree that in a sense it is the underpinning of the evolution of the agriculture sector and other sectors.
One of the things that we have to realize is that this investments have been made in many of our G20 counterparts. And in the UK, for example, they're probably number 2 or number 3 in terms of total investment into this space. They see this biomanufacturing as the fourth industrial revolution. So when your comment about is this transformative? Yes, when people use the phrase, this is the fourth industrial revolution, it is transformative. And what's very interesting about it is that it does impact not just ag and food, but it cuts across almost every business segment that we have in Canada. And, one of the things that excites us about this technology and the opportunity related to climate change and carbon sequestration is how can we build plants that are more efficient at harvesting sunlight so that they sequester even more greenhouse gas and get it out of the atmosphere and put it into the soil, where organic matter in the soil helps with plant nutrition, water retention, and all good things. I do think that this technology platform is incredibly disruptive, and we are seeing many other countries around the world make strategic investments in this place. And I think that's an opportunity for us here in Canada. And as I'm happy to be part of the National Steering Committee for the Engineering Biology Roadmap. And I think it's something that we do in Canada need to have that national level strategy because it is so transformative. I do believe one of the low-hanging fruit, shovel-ready opportunities is the agriculture and agri-food space. And I think it's a critical asset in terms of what we can do for Canada, not just in terms of making ag and food more efficient and robust for a supply here domestically, but it helps us worldwide with trade. It helps us drive economic recovery from the COVID-19 crisis. And again, I do think we have an unfair advantage here in Canada versus the rest of the world. And we should take advantage of that opportunity because we're blessed to be in this country.
Very briefly, you've said this twice. We have an unfair advantage. What is that unfair advantage?
One of the biggest unfair advantages we have is actually where we produce. We produce all across the country. But in Western Canada in particular, in Saskatchewan, about 40% of the cropland that's cropped is here in our province. And it represents a low density population space with a high degree of capacity to capture sunlight and convert atmospheric carbon dioxide into fixed carbon. And I think that is a huge opportunity for us here in Western Canada. And one of the things that we've seen, and there have been a number of reports and op-ed articles about it over the last year and a half, is that we've seen organic matter content, so that's carbon content, go up in our soils in Western Canada because of the adoption of no-till agriculture, back in the late 90s. Now, the opportunity that engineering biology brings is to be able to have better measurements in real time to enable a carbon trade, if you will. The other thing that it also enables is us to make better plants that are even more efficient at the carbon sequestration. I think those things coupled, as we have a massive land mass here, it allows us to harvest an awful lot of sun energy and convert gas CO2 into fixed CO2 for food, for feedstocks, for further bioconversion, and to lock it away in the soil to enrich the farmland that we already have. So again, I think it's a wonderful opportunity that we have here in Western Canada.
If you had 30 seconds to pitch someone in a position of power, someone or a group in Canada, to position Canada as a leader in bioengineering and biomanufacturing, who would you pitch and what would you say in less than 30 seconds?
I would love the opportunity to speak with the Prime Minister. The reason I would let the Prime Minister know about how transformative and disruptive this technology can be, both in terms of our existing business, but the opportunity the technology has to add additional value to the Canadian economy, both in terms of economic growth, environmental sustainability, and social acceptance of new tools and technologies. I would also like to share that industry has invested a lot of money into this technology space, and we need that cohesive public leadership to partner with industry to create that team approach to how we can address the challenges. We have witnessed the opportunity that biomanufacturing and bioengineering have had, where governments have worked with industries through Operation Warp Speed to create a vaccine for the COVID-19 pandemic. That's probably the most illustrative value to the government of why this is a capability that is needed and how it can transform how we do things, not just in ag and food, but across the Canadian economy.